Where were you on September 11th, 2001? I'll share my story today, and I just want to hear from you. Any stories that you have, just share your little memory of where you were anywhere around the world. And of course, we'll be doing the usual gold, silver, and platinum price analysis as well, maybe a chart request too. But look, in the first 1 minute of the show, use the time codes below to go to the part that you want to watch straight away. But in the first 1 minute of the show, we're going to do more of a somber synchronized slurp today. But you grab your tasty beverage and I grab my tasty beverage and we do slurp them. A very small slurp today, I think, synchronously. Here we go in the first 1 minute of the show. You're watching Good Morning Stackers with me, Joe Main. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. Thank you very much. Once again, my name is Joe Main. I've worked in the precious metals industry for 11 years in Australia, coming to you live from down under in Melbourne in Australia. I've been a stacker for about 15 years and now I do this show and I help you do a bunch of stuff on YouTube and other social media. The show is brought to you by Perth Bullion Exchange, perthbullion.com.au and wealthstack.com. You may hear from them a little bit later, but we'll do the quick little shout outs. What I'd like to get you to do right now is and I'll tell my little, just where I was within the world, what was going on with me. At the time, of course, we don't make it about ourselves, but we're just sharing, where you were at that time, okay? And we'll do the quick little shout outs, but get your, I was here on this date, I was doing this, I was X amount of age, I was whatever. Don't give away too much personal information, but do you have any interesting stories to tell about September 11th, 2001, where you were, and anything adjacent sort of kind of to that? And as I said, it's a little bit of a lower energy show today, but I'm doing that out of respect. Okay, talking about respect, when we start talking about this topic, we'll do that first, then we'll do the live gold, silver, platinum analysis, etc. afterwards. When we first start talking about it, of course, let's stay respectful. Okay, we're not going to talk about conspiracy theories and all that kind of stuff. Today's not the day for that. Even though it's September the 12th, technically today in Australia, it is still September 11th. So it's like 8, 9 p.m. somewhere, I think on the East Coast, for example. So they're still going through it. Okay, so let's keep it nice and respectful. But of course, let's do the shout outs. G'day, mates. GMS. We don't get to see we don't actually see the emoticons. We just see what the emoticon is doing. So it's like a description of hand pink waving. Okay. I don't know why we don't get to see those. They don't translate very well. Tony, I was going to say PMS. Tony, GMS, says Tony. Let's see. We'll get to that. So get your comments in now, and then I'll replay those comments, okay, for you, about where you were on September 11th, 2001. Hi, Lance and Tony. Person turquoise waving. Again, I don't know why we don't get these things. It's an I use Ecamm Live, and so it's a little bit of there. I reckon that's a bug. Let's see. Thoughts on CPR data release, fudging numbers. Haven't even checked out the numbers. So my apologies. I didn't do that this morning. Maybe I'll check it out tomorrow. There's another bit of news that we might need to talk about tomorrow, though. CT from the Lone Star State in Texas, says GMS. Great to see you. G'day, Lance. So true. Let's see. GMS. We'll get back to that in just a second. Let's see. Silver Shield. Oh, okay. Silver Shield Never Forget. Version 2 series designs are based on many of the 9/11 events. Yes, of course. That's right. Data is manipulated to suit agendas, in my opinion. Yes, they always fudge the numbers, the CPI data, for whichever party is in at the time. The right do it, the left do it, everyone does it, because it's basic human incentive, right? Synchronized slurp. Pete Repeat, says GMS, and hi all. Fantastic. Good morning, chat fam, says Tony Peterson. Oh dang, I'll just take my tinfoil hat off. Yes, please, no tinfoil hats today. Thank you very much. Would be lovely. GMS says debt is great. And I love the fact that you're talking amongst each other. I'm trying to really master the light here. Give me a second. Am I wearing pants? Yes, I am. I got caught once wearing I was wearing pants, but I was wearing pajama pants. So now I make sure I'm still always wearing my jeans, just in case. Although that wouldn't be bad, would it? If I wear my pajama pants, that's okay. You could still be in your pajamas at the moment, or you could be in your pajamas because it's late night wherever you are in the world. So that's okay. You can wear whatever you want, and you can have whatever you want in your tasty beverage, too. And morning, Joe! Exclamation point with thing. And I'm just getting blown out again by this sun, but that's okay. All right. Let's talk about, respectfully, let's talk about where you were on September 11th, 2001. We'll do the usual gold, silver, platinum analysis as well, but I just thought, it was just an interesting topic today. I'm not trying to sensationalize it or do any kind of clickbait or anything like that, but I'm just interested to know where you were. I'll share my little story. It's, I was here in Australia, but I'll share my story of where I was, share your story and your initial thoughts and your reactions and all that kind of stuff. Again, we're not going conspiratorial today. None of that stuff. I just out of respect, let's not do that today, please. We can do it tomorrow if you want. Just not today. Thanks. But I'll share my quick little story of where I was and you share yours from wherever you are within the world. So I have to think about this for a second because it's now a long time ago. 2001, so 23 years ago, I was in my early 20s. And I had just recently, I just recently moved out of home with my first love, my first girlfriend. And we were living in Melbourne in a suburb, sort of outer suburb of Melbourne. And obviously it was the evening for our time. And so I remember I was on the internet. I had my PC laptop, had the ADSL line, running, all that noise and all that. The, no wireless. So it was just, the plugged into the Ethernet cable or whatever it was. I don't think it was even Ethernet at that time. It was just the telephone line plugged into the thing. And I was just surfing. And so it was the evening, obviously. Also, it was a late afternoon, evening, that kind of thing. And obviously, we'd just have the TV on, just watching something. And then obviously, up it comes. And, the first something happening about a first plane. So we didn't see the first plane hit. Again, don't go all there about planes and all that kind of stuff. We're not doing that today. So I saw the first plane. We didn't see the first plane hit, but the news came up, okay? Because you just have the TV on, I was just watching whatever was on at the time, and then breaking news. So, they said explosion at the World Trade Towers, blah, blah, blah. Wasn't sure what it was at the time. I think there was reports that it was a plane, but they weren't sure. And so immediately I was just on the net. I think I was in a chat room or something. And then I immediately, my girlfriend said, "Oh, check this out." And I went, "Oh, crap." So immediately I went onto Yahoo Chat, which was a thing for you young people. Yahoo Chat was a chat thing. And I went onto Yahoo Chat, and in Yahoo Chat, you could go into different rooms, and specifically they had like all the different states of the United States. So I went into the New York chat room, and I think it was either the Manhattan chat room, it was just the New York chat room on Yahoo Chat. And instantly it was everyone just jumped in there. And it was what's going on. Obviously, you're in the fog of war. It's this. We're being attacked. We're this, all that kind of stuff. And I was just watching. I was typing and watching and listening to what everyone else was saying. And then I saw the second plane hit live. Watched it literally live on TV. That is a bit of a delay, of course. And so I saw that, and it was just jaw dropped. And I remember typing. I remember typing something like, what was it? Because I saw it, and then I go, because we're all talking about, I remember now, we were talking about, was it an accident? Was it this? Was it that? Oh, it was, and I think I said something like, or someone said, I was a Cessna. Oh, maybe a Cessna accidentally, we don't know. It's the fog of war, right? So I was at a Cessna accidentally, but how do you do it? In hindsight, how is it really an accident? But it could have been a helicopter or an accident or something like that. Then I watched literally the second plane, and then immediately I typed, and about 10 billion other people typed, okay, that's not an accident, that's an attack. Attack, terrorist attack, blah, blah, blah. And then I just watched unfold what happened on the day, and on that day, on that morning, in the afternoon, evening for us. And, saw the whole thing live, and, the collapse of the buildings and all that. And I was just on that Yahoo Chat. And then, I remember speaking to people, getting calls, and we're just all chatting on the phone about it. And it was just a really big, obviously, day. So that's just where I was, what I was doing. I saw it live on TV, and just interacting in that New York chat room, just getting everyone's sort of initial reactions. So that was back in 2001. Out of interest, and I don't. This really makes much interest, I guess. But I then moved to New York in 2004, and I studied there for a year. Excuse me, with the light there. That's a bit better. There we go, bit better light again. And I studied there for a year. I studied acting and musical theatre on Broadway. So I was right in the thick of Manhattan every single day. I lived in Manhattan briefly. I lived in Harlem, Spanish Harlem briefly, and then I moved to New Jersey, just across the Hudson River in Weehawken, New Jersey. I lived there for a long time, for a while, and then I moved to Queens. So I lived in Queens, so right in the kind of thick of it. And I remember, 2004, still, very fresh in everyone's mind. And was I there? Yes, I think I was there for the September 11th third anniversary. I think I was there. I'm pretty sure. And so it's just, still, of course, fresh in people's mind. And look, the world changed. It absolutely changed on that day. I absolutely agree that that's, the case, and everyone, does agree that. That's my little story. It's nothing fanciful or anything like that, but I just wanted to share where I was. I don't think I've ever told anyone certainly not publicly like this. So that's where I was. So let's get your comments. And again, let's keep it nice and respectful. And I'm going to pop on that as well because the light just went. All right. So let's keep it nice and respectful, people. We'll get your comments, and then we're going to do live gold, silver, platinum analysis, maybe a chart request if we get time. And then we'll get out of here because you've got stuff to do, and so do I. Let's see. Tony Peterson was the first commenter. Tony Peterson says, I went to visit a friend Saturday, sat in the lounge. While she went to make a coffee, I said to her, quote, something's wrong with the video. The movie kept replaying a... Oh, right. So you thought that there was just a movie playing in your friend's house. And it turns out it was the live thing, and then the live people, the live newscasts were replaying it, kept replaying a plane crashing into a building. Yeah. Let's see. CT, yes, prior to 9/11, I flew domestic on someone else's ticket. Oh, prior to 9/11. Well, yeah, so, of course, the laws were tightened and all that. So prior to 9/11, you were able to fly domestic on someone else's ticket, and that was okay back then. Yeah, not anymore. Let's see. Mark Florida from Florida man. GMS was at home and watched the live reports after the first strike. Yep. Hard to understand. Yes, same thing. And then I saw the second flight hit live. Same as me. Our world as we knew it the day before was over. Absolutely. Some people mark it as it's a big generational change. And it is. It really was a big generational change, I think, or a big change, obviously, big change in the world. But also you've got things like, was it the fourth turning, things like the Kondratiev wave, things like that, which they use that as the marking of the beginning of a new cycle or a new section of a larger cycle, if that makes sense. So a lot of people point to literally that day as, okay, that was a turning point for the next leg of a larger cycle. If you believe in like Kondratiev wave or the fourth turning stuff, that kind of stuff. So that was like a big marker, if that makes sense. So Tony, no. Any more things? That might be actually it, and that's okay. Any final ones? Jason Ashworth says, I was writing my matric maths final exam. Teachers were all whispering amongst each other, and then we found out a few hours later. Yeah, I mean, if you're in an exam at the time, yeah, you don't want to get that interrupted. Finally, as again, if you've just joined the channel, we're talking about where you were on September 11th, 2001. If you were too young, you can say that. You can share a memory of, if you remember what your parents were doing at the time or anything. Because again, it was kind of like the afternoon, evening for us here in Australia, or in the morning where you're getting ready for breakfast, or all that kind of that stuff. So quickly share your stories. If there's no more stories, we'll get straight on to the gold, silver, and platinum analysis. It was hard. Det is great says it was hard to work that day. Yep, everyone work congregating around the TV. Yeah, that was it was the thing that stopped the entire world, pretty much. Yeah, and I'm sure that if it had been in the morning, my time, I probably wouldn't have gone to work that day, I'd imagine, or if I did, it's like the wouldn't have been much else to talk about. Morning, Tony and GMS, everyone. And I think that might be it. If you any last stories of where you were, if you want to share that, anything like that, and then we'll just get on to the next thing. We'll do a few more other comments than that, so let's just get a few more of those. Thanks for sharing the ones so far. Yes, okay, this is a chart request. Yes, URNM. Yes, I will look at that, actually. Maybe I will look at that. Let's see. That's to do with uranium. Minister 988 says GM, little less. Okay, yeah, fair enough. And Benny Rockstar, it's hammer time. Oh, it's hammer time. GMS says Knackers O'Reilly. And I think, my friends, that's it. I think, yeah, good. All right. That is where you were and where I was on September 11th, 2001. The thing that stopped the world. Absolutely agree. Unless anyone's got some last ones. No, we're going to leave it at that. Okay, my lovely people. We're going to do gold, silver, and platinum price analysis, of course. We'll do that in just a second. But, of course, you need to know about Perth Bullion Exchange, perthbullion.com.au, my preferred bullion dealer, my preferred physical bullion dealer. Let me get right. I'll keep it in here. Yeah, I'll keep it in here. Why not? Let's see. As you know, perthbullion.com.au, my favorite and my preferred physical bullion dealer, my brand partner as well. You get free shipping when you buy over a certain amounts from Perth Bullion Exchange. And you only need 20 items in your shopping cart of a mix of match of any items. So you don't need to buy 20 of one thing. Just have 20 of anything, a total of 20 items or more in your shopping cart of anything, gold, silver, whatever, and you get instant free shipping Australia-wide. Perth Bullion Exchange is the only company, I know I harp on this, they're the only company in Australia, and they're the first company in Australia to offer free shipping on bullion in Australia. No other company has dared to do it. They didn't think, maybe they don't think it's available to do. Maybe they're waiting for Perth Bullion Exchange to be the maverick to see, are they going to last? Is this business going to last with this free shipping thing? Okay, they're not going to last. Like, how can they do that? It's not even possible. They must be losing so much money, all that kind of stuff. Now, I know that's not true. They are able to do it, and they chose to do it because it's the right thing to do. Everyone in the States and many other places around the world offer free shipping when you buy over a certain amount. But here in Australia, you always have to pay a shipping charge, no matter how much you buy. $1 million worth, or $1,000 worth, $5,000 worth. You always pay shipping, except at Perth Bullion Exchange when buying over a certain amount, as I said. So check them out, and their special for this week is still, because their specials run all week, which is what I really love about Perth Bullion Exchange as well, is the Scottsdale Stacker 5-ounce silver round. They did the 2-ounce round a couple of weeks ago, but now they've done the 5-ounce round. That's $5 off per round individually, and then you get the extra discount as well. So they didn't just cap it right at the $5 off. You still get the quantity discount, which is even better. So they've lowered all the quantity discounts for this special as well. And again, you buy 20 of these or buy one of these and 20 of anything else, mix and match, instant free shipping Australia-wide, sign-on delivery, express, all that kind of stuff. Okay. Now, out of interest, not that the person's watching this, but so I did see someone complain, complain a little bit about how they paid for it, but they didn't get overnight shipping. Well, the overnight shipping happens from the day that it gets shipped. So just if you order on a Monday, it doesn't necessarily mean it gets shipped on Monday. It might, but it's 24 hours usually, from the time that it's shipped, right? So, for example, if you take another company like Bullion Now do express shipping, but your order might not be shipped for days and days, depending on if they're waiting for stock to come in or depending on where you are within the queue. Okay, so that makes sense, right? Anyway, I don't know why I mentioned that, but I just did. So that is perthbullion.com.au, and of course, wealthstack.com. Really want to check them out. Okay, go check them out, wealthstack.com. It is a phone app on Android or iPhone. You can even do the desktop app if you like. And this is where you save and invest and transact in physical gold with a WealthStack account and eventually a debit card is coming as well. They're going to be adding silver. You're going to be able to do physical redemptions as well, but they're a brand new company, okay? They're Australian regulated, Australian, crossed all their T's, dotted all their I's, paid all their fees, all that. They're fully Australian regulated, okay, based in Australia, in Perth, in Western Australia, of course, and they have basically it's like an unallocated gold program, physically backed by real physical metal by one of the biggest wholesalers and storage vaulting facilities in the entire world. Okay, and I've crossed my T's and dotted my I's with this company. I even did an interview with the CEO, David Ski, a few weeks ago, so just check that out on my channel. If I get a chance, I'll link it here somewhere if I get a chance later on. But that's David Ski, that's some of the other team members. And of course, that's where if you go to the About section on wealthstack.com and you can find the download on the App Store and all that, or just search on the App Store. It's really easy. All you do, if you're on iPhone, you go to the App Store and you just type in WealthStack, one word, and that's the logo, or on Android, WealthStack, one word, and that's the logo. You can't really see this good there, but it's the same logo, right? That purple thing. Cool. And that's the layout of the app. And eventually, when I get the technology to show you the app live on my phone, if I can do some kind of screencast from my phone, I'll do that. But I'll also show you, when I get a chance, I'll show you the desktop version as well. That's easy to share the screen, so I'll do that another day. So save, transact in real physical gold, spot plus 1%. Yep, spot, you heard correctly. Spot plus 1% to buy gold, real physical gold that's held for you. Eventually, you'll be able to do physical redemptions. That's not on board just yet. Later on down the track, I said physical redemptions, debit card, and silver and platinum as well will be added, probably later towards the end of this year. I think it's going to be at this stage, as they say. And spot plus 1% to buy gold, minimum of $10. You don't even have to buy an ounce of gold to get it for spot plus 1%. Buy $10 worth of gold, spot plus 1%. It's just amazing. So do check out their website, wealthstack.com. Click on how it works. Go down to the frequently asked questions page down the bottom left here. Click on that and just find out more about it. It might be for you as a stacker, but if you're the type of person who's like, if I don't hold it, I don't own it, that's okay with you too. Maybe this is for your friends and family who you've been trying to wake up to this physical stuff, but maybe maybe this is an easier way to get them in. It's again free to download the app, free to join an account, just add your ID, you start buying gold. Maybe that's the best way for them because they think you're this crazy collector who's like, look at my silver coins and my gold coins, right? Where we know what we are, but the normies. Maybe this is better for the normies, or maybe this is partly for you to diversify. So that's why I think WealthStack is a great company, and it's why they are my second brand partner as well. Happy to put my name to it. Okay, my people, let's do gold, silver, and platinum analysis, and then we'll get to your final comments, and then we'll get out of here. And we might actually do a quick chart request as well. We've had one chart request. I might take a look at that. So let's go. Let's do it. Gold on the daily time frame. Price in USD, $2,512 US. We're using the tradingview.com website. I'm down there. That's okay. I'm down there. No, that's fine. Down on the right-hand side. Okay. Interesting setup. Okay. We are still technically above this uptrend line, so that's good news. The only issue I guess I would say is we are coming up to an inflection point right here. Can you see this? Let me pop that on the 4-hour. We're getting to a decision that needs to be made, that will be made very soon. Okay, this little new uptrend line right about here. This is on the 4-hour time frame. We've been skirting, so all-time high. Didn't break it, made a play for it, failed move. Made a play, failed move, made a play, failed move. Made a play, failed move, just made a play yesterday, failed move. Now, look, I do say the more times you test an area, the more likely it is to be taken out, but I'll just show you on the daily time frame. This is where we are on the daily. We are right in a decision-making spot right here. It's just above. It did close, and that's positive. It closed above this uptrend line. Okay, but we're just getting towards the apex of this little thing right here. So we just don't want that. We don't want that to close below here Otherwise, probably at least down to, I would say, maybe down to the 2470 upper line in the sand area. Again, the more times you test an area, the more likely it is taken out. So we're just in a quite tight little window right here, which we obviously want to see crack back up, okay? Again, on the positive side, so I'm not going to give you a definite this way, definite that way. On the positive side, I will say, look, we've had 1, 2, 3, kind of 4-ish tests to make. So again, the more times you test it, the more likely, but we need another test. And I would suggest if we have another test here, this is the next time you come up into this area, I think that's the one that takes it out. Okay, so either for me, we either probably go down today or we hover around here, and then the following day would look more positive to break up. Okay, that's gold. Really, that's all I really have to say about gold for the moment. While we're above this uptrend line, okay, looking good, but we're just really skirting it at the moment. We're just right at that sort of inflection point. So it will make its decision majorly either way, with probably in the next 48 hours, I'd say, by the end of the trading week, if that makes sense. And just watch out for the moment. As I said, watch out for the mother of all trend lines. I do think that's a magnet at the moment until the end of the year, and I will stick with that. I believe more than a 50% chance that we will see 2,650, give or take $20 either way, give or take that, by the end of 2024. Okay, that's just my opinion. It feels like a magnet. We're so close to it that it feels like a magnet that's just kind of pulling it up. Now, I could be completely wrong, and don't do anything I would do, and I'll be happy to be wrong. That's fine. I'll admit it. It's just my feeling, more than 50% chance that that's the magnet that kind of pulls us there. Okay, but if we sail down, just dollar cost average anyway. That's the best way to do it. If we end up heading down, I still have, just so you know, my best buy zones and all that still in place, and I'll show you those very quickly for the new subscribers. 649 subscribers. So that's 7 new subscribers, I think it is, or 5 or 6 or something overnight. So welcome to everyone, to the new subscribers. And I have my best buy zone right there. That's my best buy zone still, and that's still in play. It's all still in play. Okay, and that's anywhere down to from 2250 to 2,150 US dollars. Just keep that in the back of your mind. Okay, so that is gold, I think, on the weekly time frame. On the relative strength index, let's see, relative strength index, we are trending. So we've been in that extremely overbought, overvalued area for gold already on the weekly. We did come down, and then it looks like, we haven't closed the week yet. So we're at the top end here of back into extremely overvalued for gold. What you would want to see is this curl up. So you want to see the week close green, and then that would mean that this starts to curl up like that, and that's looking positive for a higher move to go, which would kind of be in line with my magnet here. It just feels like the mother of all trend lines needs to be touched. Okay, that's getting a bit weird. The mother of all trend lines needs to be touched. It just feels that way. Okay, that's just a feeling. Okay, doesn't mean it's going to happen. But look at that, right? 1980, 2011. We're so close. It just feels like this magnet just sucking it up to it. I just feel like it is by the end of the year. That's my humble, non-financial advice opinion on gold. So that's gold. And I've just told you the levels that we don't want to really close below. Okay, that's gold. Let's do silver. Silver on the daily, $28.66 US cents. Okay, so we closed the day. Gee, what do you know? Look at this. So we closed. It was a wide-ranging day yesterday for gold. Sorry, let me show you gold again. I did mention this in a Facebook post, in the Gold and Silver Stackers Australia Facebook forum post I do every single weekday morning. It was a very wide-ranging day yesterday. So that was about a almost $30 wide-ranging day. Opened here, closed at the support level, right? And then made a play but a failed move, okay? And same with silver. We opened yesterday at 28.30, spiked all the way up to 50 cents. So basically over 55 cents, 28.86. 28.85, and we spiked there, but we also had a spike lower as well. So which came first? I'm going to guess the spike. No, the spike up first. Okay, so we spiked up to 28.80 something, and then a quick move. Now, what do we like? We like the quick moves down and the quick suck back ups. We like that. So we like the big spikes down because that says, no, you don't. The more of the buyers are in control of the market. Where did we find support at? Oh, gee, what do you know? At the 28 USD dollar level, which happens to be the top end of my best buy zone. Right there. So positive to see, but we're definitely not out of the woods. Okay. We need to still get back above the back in business line right here. Relative strength index. Sorry, that's a bit much. Relative strength index is trending up at the moment. That's on the 4 hour. Let's take a look at the daily. Daily looks like, is that a W pattern right there? Are we looking like that? We've still got a few things to get over though. Okay, so looking good. I mean, I like that, but we're still within that trading range. So really, I've just got to say, still 50-50 chance at the moment. So we're still just between that $28 and $29 level. I don't know what the price is exactly going to do, and neither do you. Of course, we've got the potential. I think is it locked in now, basically, Fed rate cuts. Is it September or coming in the next cycle? I don't remember, but I think it's September. So you've got that in coming up. So, that could be good for the price of gold, and generally that's going to be good for the price of silver as well. But no one really knows. Okay, so just watch out here. You don't want to close below 28. You really don't want to close below $27.40 US cents. That would signal closing below. That signals that would tick over, and then very, very likely you'd be looking at the $26 to $25 level. You really don't want to go. You don't want to spend time in here. Spike down, fine. Close above 26 is your preferable. That would actually be a very healthy move. For the new subscribers, that's actually a really healthy move. I'm not saying this is happening, by the way. I'm leaning towards up than down. Okay, if you have to put a pew to my head, I'm actually leaning towards closing the month higher, so a green candle close for the month of September. That's what I'm leaning towards, but that's just my personal, probably confirmation bias. I want it to be true because I want to see the price go up, kind of thing. But out of interest, if you did come down to, let's get rid of the best buy zone. Where's my best buy zone thing here? Rectangle. I've got to rename that something else. But here's the where you broke out of, and here's the get my head out the way right there. That's the symmetrical triangle pattern. We broke out of it in April. You've had a major breakout. Okay, a retest is really normal actually. When you break out of a major area, you tend to come back and retest it. You don't do it every time. But it's not surprising. And I would see, I could see a quick wick down to there, and that gets sucked back over that $26 mark. That's great. Okay. There's your breakout and your retest. Par for course. Okay. We just don't want to see it start breaking down below this downtrend line or this uptrend line. Not down below $24.50 roughly is your big, massive, don't close any day, any week, particularly any month. Below there, not good. Then you're coming down lower. Okay, so breakout retest, that'd be fine. I just do feel like we're not going to do that, but I'll still stay 50-50. Okay, does that make sense? Good. That's gold, silver. Watch for 29 to be broken out of. That would mean a monthly candle would be green for the month if we close above 29. That would be very bullish in my opinion. And that's it. Watch for that 27.40. Don't want to break it. That's gold, silver, and I did mention on the Gold and Silver Stackers Australia forum the interesting move in platinum that we've had. As you know, I'm still depressed for platinum. I'm like, whatever, because we're in this area right here, and we haven't broken out above the very long-term downtrend line from February that goes all the way back to February of 2008, the thicker yellow line right here. So I'm technically still depressed for platinum. However, I did say if we did start closing above 945 right here, I'd start to get a little tingly. It's like a little bit of hope, Again, like as I always say, like Lucy in the football, like the Charlie Brown reference. If you know, for my international subscribers, American subscribers in particular, platinum is like Lucy in the football with me. It sets me up, and then it pulls the ball right from under me, and I fall flat on my butt. Every single time. It's done to me for a long time. So it is my fickle mistress. But look, okay, it's back up in this area. It's good that it's closed above 945 US dollars. And look, out of interest, on the relative strength index on the daily time frame, okay, we are trending up as well. Okay, yeah, all right. Don't do it to me again. It's very interesting. Okay, we have technically hit the best buy zone at the top end of my best buy zone. So technically, we did hit that at $900. Okay, I don't want to get cautiously optimistic. And this was so far a failed. Looks like a potential fake out, right? So this is the uptrend line right here. And then we did pierce it. Sorry for the motion sickness. We did pierce it right here. We went blah, 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 but it was a close within the range on the weekly time frame. And I think it was it on the daily? No, but on the weekly it was. So we closed below it on the daily. And when we closed below it on the daily, I was thinking, are we going to go? We're probably going to go further down into the belly of the best buy zone. We didn't do that. So incorrect call there. But on the weekly, we closed above it. So that was positive. So that looks potentially like a fake out right there. And oftentimes from a failed move comes a fast move in the opposite direction. Stop it, Lucy, stop it. I don't want to be confident with Platinum. Just don't do it to me, please. Don't. If I just get rid of a couple of things here, stop it. Yeah, okay. Again, once we get above the long-term downtrend line from February of 2008, I'll start getting interested in Platinum again. I'll get excited when we get above this trend line right here. Okay, as you know, I'll get excited when we get above here. And of course, just for my new subscribers, any month, if we close any month above $1,120, we close above it. So not just as a resistance level, but kind of above. You want to be like, 1,125, 1,130. You close a month around there, any month. That is go, 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 bull time, baby, in my humble non-financial advice opinion. And I could be wrong. Okay, but that signals to me, oh my God, this is new bull market territory. If you close a month, okay, above this area here, that is bang, baby, bull time. In my humble opinion, we're not even there yet, but just keep that in the back of your mind. Gold, silver, platinum. Gold to silver ratio is on the daily. We're hovering around the any metals game area. Okay, so that's all you need to know. That's just hovering. Nothing really to say on the gold to silver ratio. I guess on the daily time frame, it looks like it is trending down a little bit. Okay, so silver outperforming gold a little bit in the last couple of days. It won't continue its massive trend, or it won't go on a massive outperforming trend against gold until we get down below this area right here. Okay, and that's at around about depends on when it would hit, right? But it's around about your 80 level. And if it happens later on, it's around about 82, 83 kind of level. Until we're below there, it's sort of indeterminate. Gold's probably looking more favorable at this stage to outperform silver in the longer term. Just got to get below there. Okay, that's gold to silver ratio. We did platinum, and we'll take a quick look. Let me go back here. You should do a collab. Oh yeah, I might do that. Maybe. We'll talk about that in just a second. We'll talk about the collab with Yankee Stacking as well. Well, we'll see. Let's see, because Yankee Stacking jumped on the channel yesterday, and I've been chatting with him a little bit. So we have exchanged emails as well. So a collab. He's going to jump on my channel sometime. I think it's sometime this week, as far as we're aware. Okay, Lance wants to talk about. Let's do chart request. Lance wants to talk about URNM. Yes, a good chart to watch today after the 6% pop-off. 6% pop-off in uranium. So URNM is a uranium mine, is a uranium index. Now, I think on the ASX, URNM is that an index, or is that just the physical? I don't remember. So URNM. So I'm going to show you URA. I've previously been in uranium before, and then I recently I got out of it. But then I'm thinking, I'm looking at the charts again. These are my purple ones right here. So all of these are my purple uranium style things. Oh, you can't see that to the right hand side. Excuse me. See those? They're my purple little markers there. 92E, BOECCJ, of course, DYL, UX1. And there was URA, which I had, and is that in my red list? Give me a second. There it is. URA is in my red list. Why is it in my red list? I'll pop it in my purple list. Give me a second. Because that's uranium. So it's had a 6% move. Let me just show you this. So this is URA. This is Uranium Mining Index, American Index. Okay, so this is on the monthly time frame. Look at this. It did have a 6% move. Let me show you that, and then I'll show you the ASX version of that. So let's go. Is it around 6%? No, it's more than that. Oh, that's on the monthly time frame. Sorry, that's on the monthly. Let me show you the daily. Okay, so the daily time frame yesterday looks like a potential double bottom right there. That could be very interesting for the uranium mining sector. Right here, yeah, about a 6% move right there yesterday. Now, isn't it interesting? Very quickly, when a 6% move, it's a pop off. Like, and I don't. That wasn't meaning to be offensive to the person who said that, but it's just interesting because I've been in crypto since 2013, and it's just funny when you see it's a 6% move. Oh my god, it jumped 6% in a day, and that's like 6% in an hour is nothing for crypto. So that's just all I find funny. But even but a 6% move in a day for silver, it's like, oh, that's not bad. But yeah, uranium I could see. So right there, so 6% move in URA. Okay, I'll look at URA on the, again, this is the American version on the monthly time frame. Again, this is the US version right there. Could that be a double bottom right there? Okay. The things I would say, though, to this is bear in mind where we are on the monthly relative strength index. Let me show you here. We've already been in, this is back in November of 3 years ago, we've already been in extremely overvalued for uranium mining stocks already, and we've already seen that now. We saw a move back up, okay, but just in May, and this is around May-ish, I was in uranium and then I got out before this big dip, okay? We've seen this back down. That is trending down though, okay? We are coming to an interesting point there, so I will note that. Okay, you have a sort of a support level here. Can you see that? Look, resistance, support, a support a little bit higher and support there. So you're talking around about there-ish is a support level on the relative strength index on the monthly time frame. And of course, this is the big macro version, okay? So you could see a bounce here, certainly could, and then back up like that. Just bear in mind, that is trending down. I'll just keep it at that. So I was in uranium. I did get out. I was in uranium very briefly, okay? I did get out, and I'm not back in just yet. Okay, but I do think uranium over the longer term is a great play, of course, because of nuclear technology. Of course, all the Generation 4 nuclear reactors which will be coming online. Of course, as you know, nuclear is the greatest form of energy production in history. It beats all of it. It's cheap. It is cheap when you factor in, after the initial costs, right? When you factor in over the time, it's very cheap. Okay, and it's the greenest form of energy production. Okay, Generation 3 nuclear reactors, which are the most newest type, rather than Gen 4, which have been around for decades, never had a meltdown. All the reactors that have had issues, Chernobyl, Fukushima, etc., they were all Generation 2 or earlier nuclear reactors. Generation 3, which have been around for decades now, never had a problem. Now, technically, they can melt down, but the Generation 4 nuclear reactors that are coming on board now, they can't even melt down. There's no such thing. It's not built into the system. They just turn off. Okay, so you can't even. So it's just it is the future. Fusion maybe, but that's who knows. If we remove regulations, I'm getting a little bit of my soapbox right now, but if we remove regulations, it won't take 10, 20 years to get a nuclear reactor up. Just remove the damn regulation, remove some of the regulations, get some of the red tape out of the way, and they'll get up quicker, and then free energy, basically cheap, really cheap energy for everyone in the entire world, right? So anyway, but out of interest, so that's going to get bigger and bigger in my humble opinion. But out of interest, just here, we are moving down. Okay, so we are getting to a support level. So I'm not going to say it's definitely going up or definitely going down from here. I just want you to bear that in mind, okay? But we'll look at URNM. URNM on the URNM on the ASX. Beta Sprott. Are you sure? So you want that one? Okay, URNM on the ASX. Is that the one I'm looking at? Beta URNM. Okay, sure. So that might be just a what is it? A beta a mimicking version of that. Let's have a look. URNM on the ASX. Right there. Okay, that's at $7 something. What's the other URA one at? Give me a second. URA 25. Is this the right one? I'm not sure if I've got the right one. So this is URNM. Let me check. Let me do that once more. I'm going to check the ticker. Give me a second. Let me go back. And it is, yeah, URNM on the ASX. Okay, so URNM on the ASX, and that's the only one, so I'm just going to have to go with that one. Okay, let me go with that. I might have the wrong one, so just give me a sec. Was there a move in there? Let's see, on the daily time frame. Yeah, beta URNM. Okay, is that the right one? Lance, post a comment below. I love uranium stocks. Yes, that's the one. Thank you, Lance. Got to check my comments. Fantastic. And then we'll get to your final comments about, you're going to talk about nuclear for a second. That's an interesting one. I'll get to that comment too. So this is, so you have said this is the correct one, Lance. Okay, so this is on the monthly time frame. Yeah. That's like, no, let me put it this way. It has to find a bottom somewhere. So this particular one only goes back to 2022. Okay, so I'm just using this chart. If this is like a proxy, the Australian proxy of URA, then I'll basically just say the same thing. We have been in a downtrend, and with the URA one that I showed you, there was a horizontal level, and that was around about, if I could put an approximation, that was kind of like here-ish, something like that maybe. So yeah, you've got maybe a bounce level right there, but and look, you are at previous resistance right here. Okay, so that's interesting. So we are bouncing off that level. Okay, on the daily time frame, are we going to see that spike? Let's see. We're talking. Have we opened already? That's it's only a couple of percent. So maybe I think with the markets just opened as well, so that you could have a little pop there. But I'll just say, just like the URA one, we're not out of the woods just yet. Okay, just for that reason. Interesting that there is a support level there. Let me go to the weekly. Thank you, Joe. Let me go to the weekly and the daily. Okay, and I'll do that on I'll do it for URA as well. On the daily, out of interest. Okay, so what would give pause to say, actually, on the monthly time frame, we could actually turn around here. This could be a nice little spike. We already have been in extremely undervalued or extremely oversold for URNM on the ASX on the daily time frame. Okay, that's interesting. On the weekly, however, we'll just look at we're in the lowest that's ever been. And this particular index, again, only goes back to 2022. So it's the lowest it's ever been, but you do have room to move down. Okay, it doesn't look like, you've never been in the extremely undervalued on the weekly time frame. Okay, with this one. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to use URA as the proxy now. Okay, so we're kind of doing URNM and URA as the similar thing. And I'll check the weekly for that, and then we'll do your final comments, and then we'll leave. Okay, because I've got stuff to do. You've got stuff to do. Let's see. Jeez, people, where it is. URA. Now this is URA on the weekly time frame. Okay, so it was heading into the extreme, heading further down, but we did have that 6% move yesterday. On the weekly, yeah, look, it's the same thing. I just can't say, either way, really. You are still in a longer term downtrend right there. Could this be the turnaround point? Absolutely it could. Did something happen fundamentally in the news? Did some regulations get loosened or anything like that I need to be aware of? If not, if nothing fundamentally changed and it's just kind of, par for course, then this just, could be a little price rise. They happen. Okay, they happen. It happened here. I don't know what happened in the news. So, yeah, we're not above any key levels. This is URA on the daily. So I wouldn't get excited just yet, okay? We're not even above there. So great to see a 6% move. You could see a 5-6% move on that URNM ASX stock in today, quite possibly, who knows, as a reaction. And that's maybe good for you if you're a day trader and you're just looking to make a small percentage on a large sum that you're risking. Okay, so you could make a little bit of money there day trading. I don't do day trading. But if you're talking long term, we're not over major levels yet. So that's all I've got to say about uranium. But I will say, if you're getting into uranium, you probably want to stick to the ETFs, the mining ETFs and stuff, rather than trying to pick the individual stocks. As we all know, it's better to be in index funds rather than trying to pick, individual horse winners of the race. Does that make sense? I do make my own exceptions, as we all do. So, occasionally there might be one that I would look at. Of course, as you know, I'm looking at Tesla as a big play later on down the track. I'm not back in Tesla. I'm not in Tesla right now. That's my one individual stock that I'm really just keeping my eye on, okay, for a couple of reasons that I've mentioned before. All right, we'll get final comments. Let's talk about nuclear for a second. Pete Repeat, Australia's first nuclear power plant was being constructed back in Jervis Bay in the 70s. Oh, really? The foundations are still there. Well, the foundations are there. If Australia gets off its ass and gets it into gear, then maybe. But I mean, yeah, and I'll read this comment that Lance put here, which was Lance, Australia will never get nuclear. It's not progressive enough. The problem is it's too progressive. And I know what I know what I mean by that. Australia is way too progressive on that side of things, right? It's a very progressive nation at the moment. And there's been a lot of pushback over the years for nuclear because of Chernobyl, which was in the 80s, which was a generation, that was Gen 1. Gen 1 nuclear power plant had a meltdown. Okay. Gen 2's Fukushima. Okay. Gen 3 and Gen 4. Gen 3 have never had a problem, ever. And Gen 4 can't have a problem in terms of a meltdown. Okay. It's not a thing. So all the SMRs, as they call them, the SMRs, small modular reactors, are Gen 4. That's like sodium thoride, I think, all those kind of based ones. But even with the spent fuel rods and all the spent nuclear waste, they've realized, well, no, you can just store it on site. It's not as dangerous as everyone previously thought. You can literally just store it, the pellets and whatever, store it in some containers, obviously well sealed and all that, and just store it on site forever if you want, right? It doesn't take up that much room. So it's really easy to deal with the waste and all that. And it's clean, cheap energy. Will Australia ever do it? Probably not, because we're quite progressive here at the moment. But yeah, let's see. Bo has asked, hey Joe, could you look at the Palladium chart, please? Not today, because we're getting to an hour show and I like to keep it under an hour. Can you please remind me tomorrow to look at Palladium for you? Okay. And Lance did confirm, yes, it's the Beta Shares ETF long hold for me. Yeah, it's great if it's a long hold. Excellent. If it's a long hold, no problem. Lance says, yes, the technicals at the moment are not great. Fundamentals are my go. Exactly. Get in for the fundamentals, just like gold and silver. You don't have to, this whole, my live gold, silver analysis, etc. I like to do it because I like to join, I like giving you something to watch every single day. I call it the weather report, okay? And it might help you. As I said, I do the technical analysis on the daily time frame for gold, silver, platinum analysis because it helps you learn the rules of technical analysis. And it is a thing, okay? It's not a thing. It is a thing. It is. It's not perfect, but it is a thing, okay? And so watching it on the smaller timeframes helps inform you on the longer timeframes as well, because it works as well as on the longer timeframes, of course, barring black swan events and things that you can't see, which is where, you can knock things down. But that's why you get my regular daily analysis of gold and silver. But my point was, yes, we're in it for the fundamentals over the longer term. So that's great to see that you are. With uranium as well, I will consider getting back in uranium if we confirm some levels. Okay, let's see. They were talking about nuclear here in Newcastle. Oh, and then we had 3 earthquakes in a couple of weeks. Yeah, Newcastle wouldn't be the place I would put a nuclear reactor, although, no, actually it doesn't matter. Although because the Generation 4 small modular reactors are meltdown free. It's not built into the system how they work. The electricity like the power just turns off. That's the way they work. So you can't melt down. You can't have an explosion and all that stuff. It's just not how it works. So yeah, you could have one there. I mean, preferably not Newcastle because they are known for the earthquake kind of stuff. Earthquake stuff. That's so good, Joe. So I was wondering, you should do a collab with John Adams too. I don't think I could do a collab with John Adams. Tied to another bullion dealer, all that kind of stuff. But possibly after the collab with Yankee, it should boost the subs. Maybe, but the thing is, Yankee would jump onto my channel. I don't know if I'd be. I mean, he said he's happy to. If I'm not going on his, he's coming on my channel. So big YouTube channel coming on this small YouTube channel for now, 649 subscribers. But if I title the video correctly, I might get some more views. But it would be very different if I was to, jump in as a special guest or for some reason on his channel, which I'd love to do, which I'm sure he knows I would love to do. And that would help boost my subs, sure. But, it's not about boosting subs. I know you're not saying that, but it's just talking to a great person, a great stacker, and, someone great in the community. And Yankee Stacking is one of those. So that is coming, I think, this week. Will be on the channel as far as I'm aware. Gold is flying, says Hazza. Really? Is it? Let me check. Gold. No. What's it doing? 4-hour time frame. Gold is flying. I don't know. Let's see. That's that. No, I don't think it is. It's not flying, but I don't know what that was about. Paladin. Yes, Paladin looking good for the next cycle if the market craps itself on the other side. Yes, Paladin Energy. I was in PDN actually as well. That was one of them. That is great said, I bought Paladin in 2007. Yeah, it was way too early, like 10 years, and it didn't end well. Dang. Yes, I love uranium stocks. I do like them, just not in them at the moment. Ben Ferrugia. G'day, Ben. Morning, Tony, and GMS, everyone. And that is it. So today, and thank you very much for everyone for being very respectful. Any more comments here? Guess what country buries the most nuclear waste? Oh, of course, right. You guessed it, Australia, but we can't get the tech. Of course, because Australia is like the uranium capital of the world as far. So we ship out our uranium for nuclear stuff all around the world, yet Australia, and you're right, and we bury the most of it. We take most of a lot of the nuclear waste, and yet we're not willing to we're not actually willing to do nuclear reactors in our own backyard. Like, come on, man. Anyway, that is it. And thanks to everyone for watching. Appreciate you being respectful on this general day. I know it's September 12th here in Australia, but it is still September 11th in the United States. Thanks for sharing your stories about where you were on September 11th. And of course, we did the gold, silver, platinum analysis. And finally, let's dance it out, people. We'll do a somber dance. No, we'll still dance it anyway, because you've got to end on a positive note, because we're all still here, aren't we? That has been...
Good morning, Stack. Oh yeah, we're feeling fine. Good morning, Stack. It's podcast.
All right. Grab it.
Grab a tasty beverage. Let's get in the groove.
Let's do the
synchronized slurp. Now we're on
in 3, 2, 1, go.
Good morning, Stack.
Oh yeah, we're feeling.
Woo-wee! Thank you very much again. I'll see you for tomorrow's show. Stay safe, stay informed, keep stacking. Have a great one.